Elliot Shore Parks, a Philadelphia beat writer, big time guy. Shout out Elliot Shore Parks. Never met you. Went on radio or something or tweeted. I got my facts right. That the Niners are the most overrated contender in a long time. What do you think? Buy or sell?
Buy or sell? I think, and just trying to have my pulse on other fan bases, that most other fan bases actually believe that they don't look at the 49ers with their current quarterback situation as a threat to actually win a Super Bowl. Now, they do believe that the 49ers have a very good team. Of course, they'll be a playoff team, but they don't look at the 49ers in fear and say, oh, well, that team will be the reason we don't win a Super Bowl. Most fan bases don't look at the 49ers that way. And I think it's probably reasonable to think that teams with good quarterbacks probably don't view the 49ers that way either. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't win a Super Bowl. One thing I learned early on in life is you don't have to be scared to get your ass whooped. So you could still lose the fight. You could still lose to the 49ers. But do you fear the 49ers with their quarterback situation? No, not likely.
Yeah, but they went to the NFC Championship game with Brock last year.
For sure.
Do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? No, I don't. But they're still the team that beats you up. They're still really tough to face, no matter who. You're still going to come out of that game more sore than any other week, no matter who the quarterback is. You still have to withstand those body blows. So, the type of team the Niners are. The only thing that's going to derail them from making it pretty deep in the playoffs is a bunch of injuries. But are they going to win the Super Bowl? Probably not. That's kind of the whole discussion we have every single time on this. So I don't know if Elliott thinks they're going to miss the playoffs. I feel like they could start Brock, run the ball 45 times a game and win a lot of games. They were in this position in 2019. Everyone thought they were a joke. Jimmy was coming off a surgery. He missed a lot of the offseason. They started off 8-0, freaking running the ball. So, they're a little flawed. I think they're a overrated offensive line that lost their right tackle and replaced him with Colt McKivitz. I'm a little skeptical, but essentially, it's a really great team. Essentially,
very, very good team. And quarterback aside, arguably the best roster in the league. Ish, second, maybe third.
I would have to say so. Philly's
right there.
Offensive line is so good. It's a big differentiator.
Yeah.
I
think that's it. It's not just quarterback, it's offensive line. The two most important positions in football or position groups, probably question marks for the 49ers. Not necessarily weaknesses. They could be middle ground or what have you, but definitely question marks. And until those question marks are answered with a resounding, hey, we're fine here, then it's tough to really look at the 49ers and say, hey, they're going to win a Super Bowl or they should be a favorite to win a Super Bowl. Definitely they're going to be in contention. The NFC's wide open. I don't think I would be shocked if they end up in a Super Bowl by any means, but there's other teams that I would take over them to win a Super Bowl, certainly.
Yeah, I still think Philly's a better team than the Niners. But other than Philly in the NFC, how many teams are definitely better than the Niners? Seattle could pass them. That's one more team. Other than those two,
Dallas, maybe.
Dallas, but the Niners have beaten them the last two times they've faced.
So out-coached. The 49ers have such a better
Dan Quinn does a great job, but their offense in Dallas sucks.
Awful.
But
they got a new offensive coordinator, so we'll see.
Who is it now?
I forget who it is, but
Kellen Moore wasn't getting it done. That guy.
Kellen Moore went to the Chargers, I believe. So good luck, Herbert. Sorry, bud.
I think that is one thing that people don't talk enough about with the Niners. Yeah, they're a contender, and yeah, they're one of the best teams in the NFC, but the NFC is really weak. If the Niners were in the AFC, would they get as much credit? Would they get as much ink? No one uses ink anymore. Newspapers are dead. Would they get as much media? If they were just a team in the AFC, without a quarterback, I think they wouldn't get as much attention. But in the NFC, they're like, wow, look at how far they can go without a quarterback. Yeah, well, who do they have to beat?
Realistically, if you put them in the AFC and you put them in any of the divisions that aren't the AFC South, you probably wouldn't pick the 49ers to win the division. You wouldn't pick them to win the division in the West. You wouldn't pick them to win the division in the North or the East, because all those divisions have elite quarterbacks with good teams.
So they could win the AFC South?
I mean, yeah, that's assuming they're better than the Jags, which I would probably choose them above, but Lawrence is coming
Probably.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one way to look at it. Like, yeah, they're great, but like kind of like a team that remember what the AFC was like when we were kids? And it was like, do we even take this
Oh,
conference seriously? Like this
yeah.
conference is a joke. Whoever
Yep.
wins this conference is gonna lose. When we were kids, like the best game of the year was the NFC Championship game. That was a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Yes.
It was. It's like, who cares? Oh, you got to go through the Chargers next week. Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.